Hi, my name is Kevin Kwan, and this is my 15112 term project called Tetreweled. Let's go ahead and learn more about this game on the instruction screen. So, as you can probably guess by now, Tetreweled has a lot of similar aspects to both Tetris and Bejeweled in a lot of different ways. It has a very similar control scheme to Bejeweled, where you as a player have the power to move the position of two blocks. As you can see, this blue block and green block will switch places if I choose to do so. And if three or more blocks of the same color line up in either a row like this or a column like this, then a clear will form. And when a clear is formed, these blocks will flash for a few seconds and then will disappear off the screen. And the only way to get rid of garbage is to also use a clear that is touching the garbage piece. And this is only applicable if you play the garbage mode or if you play against the AI. So if any blocks form a clear as a result of another clear, such as this example, where these three blue blocks will disappear because that is one clear, and these two orange blocks will fall down, aligned with this orange block, and form another clear, a streak is formed. And when a streak is formed, you will start to accumulate a score multiplier. So you can get a much higher score if you're playing single player, or if you're playing as the AI, it'll help you get closer to sending a block at a much more faster rate. If at any point a block reaches the top of the screen, it's game over, kind of like Tetris. So hence, you can see why this game is called Tetreweled. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the controls. So the controls are pretty simple. You can use the arrow keys to move the cursor around on the board. You can press X to swap the position of the two blocks on the cursor. And if you're feeling daring, you can press spacebar to make all the blocks move up closer to the top of the screen. And this might be beneficial to good people because if you want to get the highest score possible, pressing spacebar to force the blocks to rise up faster will help you get the score that much more quickly. You can also press 1 to use a power-up, which can be acquired by clearing question mark blocks. There are three kinds of power-ups. There is a clear column, which will get rid of one column for you. There's clear rows, which gets rid of the last two rows on your screen. And there's freeze time, which freezes time and prevents the lines from moving up automatically because it does so periodically. So let's go ahead and play a one-player game. There's three different kinds of one-player games. There's Marathon, Time Attack, and Garbage. Marathon is a very basic, classic mode. There's no gimmicks involved. It's just you trying to survive as long as you can and trying to get the highest score. Time Attack, on the other hand, has a time limit of 2 minutes, and within the 2 minutes, you have to get as many points as you can. Garbage mode is where garbage will start to pile up on your screen, and you have to survive as long as possible. I'm going to go ahead and play a garbage mode since I think that's the most interesting one-player mode, and I'll just set it to an easy difficulty. So the difficulty influences how fast the garbage will fall down from the screen and how fast the blocks will rise up. So with an easy difficulty, the blocks and garbage aren't accumulating that quickly compared to the more difficult modes. But as you can see, by making a clear that's touching the garbage will start to turn into blocks for me to use, which is pretty cool. Now, if I want to keep surviving, I have to keep clearing the garbage constantly. So in this mode in particular, you have to be a little bit more strategic and not just clear all your blocks wildly, and save more blocks for clears towards the top of the screen, because the only way to get rid of the garbage is to make a clear that touches the garbage. So you can see I just got a power-up called Clear Rows. When I activate it, the bottom two rows will disappear off the screen, which is pretty helpful because I almost just died right there. And as you can see that it's getting a little bit more difficult because the time it takes for the garbage to pile up and the time it takes for the blocks to rise up on the screen gets lower and lower as time passes by. So eventually it's going to get pretty much impossible for any player to survive for that long. So after a little bit more, I'll just go ahead and kill myself by erasing the screen. And as you can see, there's a game over. So let's go ahead and choose a VS column game. It's very similar to the garbage mode, except now there's two players on the screen. As you can see, I'm on the left-hand side, and the computer's on the right-hand side. Now, instead of a score, there is now a little red bar at the bottom of the board. you can see that the red bar increases after I make a streak. This is because once the red bar reaches the end of my board, I send a piece of garbage to my opponent, and vice versa. As you can see, I just got a piece of garbage because my opponent got filled up his red bar. And kind of like garbage, the only way I can get rid of the garbage is if I make a clear right on top of it. So you can see my garbage is piling up pretty quickly, but I'm just going to go ahead and kill myself and let the computer win. And the computer behaves a little bit differently depending on what difficulty you choose. The easy difficulty computer tends to do some random moves at times, and sometimes it does some good moves. And as you increase the difficulty, the AI definitely becomes a little bit more smarter and will make moves that help it survive a lot more, as opposed to just doing lots of random block switching. So that pretty much concludes Tetreweled. I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you guys have a great day.